The things that have happened to you in your past, I am sorry that they happened to you. They were hard, and I'm sorry that you went through that. But you can choose to be better or you can choose to be bitter. And it's all a choice. You get a choice in how you react. No one can make you angry. No one can make you feel anything. You choose to feel the feels that you feel. That was a lot. And I'm all about feeling the feels. That's literally my tagline. Like, I'm all about it. Feel what you feel, but recognize where it comes from and recognize that you have the power. Stop putting the power in other people's hands. When you say, oh, they made me angry, no, you're giving them the power. You chose to be angry. That's the truth of it. You chose to be angry. And so when someone does, it's not like someone does something to hurt you, you're like, oh, I choose to be happy about this. No, you choose to be neutral. Okay, that hurt my feelings. Why did it hurt my feelings? And just go through the depths of why did it hurt me? What can I learn from this? How can I move forward? How can I not react in a negative way? How can I just be neutral about this? It's not always possible right away. Ask Jimmy just a few days ago. Someone did something to hurt me, and I was very tearful and upset, and I needed a minute to process through why am I feeling this way. And then after I get to the end, I realize I have the choice to feel the way that I feel. And I can choose to move through this, and I can choose to cultivate happiness within myself outside of what someone does to me.
Mm. And yeah, we had a beautiful conversation. And not long ago, you guys, Brittany would not have even called me. You would have kind of wallowed in the downness of it. Not really sure, but you've learned. I have a little bit of wisdom in the midst of that, like down for you. Not that you depend on me. You end up making the final decisions about things, but this is why people come into your life to be friends. And you've been there for me many a time. Through the thing that I'm going through right now. So yeah, there's not a pithy song like "Don't worry, be neutral." No, it doesn't have quite the slap as "Be happy," right?
Oh my God, that's the best thing I have heard in a long time. I love it. I love it. All right, we need to make that song. Like, that's the thing. Yes. I have talked about on my page many times being neutral. As someone who has been through childhood trauma, who's been through a lot of stuff in her life, I can't always just, oh, I'm happy about what happened to me. No, I'm not going to let what happened to me control me. I'm not going to let what happened to me steal my happiness, but I can't be, oh, I'm so excited that happened to me.
Yeah.
No. And the idea that our society puts on us that we must be happy about the things that happen to us, I think that's crap. But I think we have to get to a place where, all right, that wasn't fun. I didn't want to go through that. I didn't choose to go through that, but I can choose how I react to that.
Well, and think about it for a moment from a future perspective. Remember last week I was talking about big picture. Like, you're robbing your future self if you think happiness is a final destination in the here and now. Maybe like where you're trying to go, if you celebrate right now's happiness, oh my gosh, this is the nirvana. Oh my gosh. And then at some point it kind of dawns on you, no, it's not. What do I do? It's kind of like a marathon runner getting halfway through the race and going, yes, yes, I finished. Yes. And then all these runners running by you, and you're like, what, what's going on? I was happy, and then you try to rush to catch up, and you realize you celebrated prematurely. And that's another reason not to make happiness your final destination. Is there's something better down the road. It doesn't mean along the way you don't celebrate and give yourself a pat on the back when you do things. Please do that, guys. It motivates you. But I think people dwell on that being the ultimate goal, and it never is the ultimate goal.
Yeah, celebrate it like a birthday. Like, this just came to me. So we celebrate birthdays every single year, and it's always a celebration. Hey, you lived another year of life, but we're going to keep going. Okay, we're not going to stop here. This isn't our final destination. We're going to keep going. And so it's the same way of when you celebrate, going back to what you said, man, the times I have robbed myself of being happy when I moved in my house. I robbed myself of that. I robbed myself when I got to the end of my weight loss journey of just being happy about that and in the moment. because I got there and I just thought everything would make like this one thing would make me happy. I'd be happy forever because this one thing happened. But I didn't enjoy my journey. I didn't enjoy every part of it. I didn't enjoy the stumbles, and you can't always enjoy the stumbles. I get it. I'm just saying that I robbed myself so much when I planted that once I got there, I would be happy. I could have been happy along the way. And so that's the thing. I can choose to be happy every single day. And when I get there, oh, we're going to celebrate it like it's a birthday. And then I'm going to keep going and just cultivate that happiness every day.
And along that same lines, I'm going to bring in a college football metaphor now. So one of the winningest coaches of all time is Nick Saban at Alabama. I know you're an Auburn fan. I'm sorry, but it's a good story. Listen to me.
He's a good coach. He is a good coach. I will give it to him.
So one time people, after he won a championship a few years ago, I know he just won the one this year, but a few years back, they're like, Coach Saban, you going to celebrate this victory? You must be so happy. And he's like, I'll celebrate it for a day, but then it's back to work. Got to go recruit, got to go this, got to. He was right back into there's more.
Yes.
So he had the birthday party, as you noted. Yay, we won the national championship. Woo! And then down the road, guess what? Someday that old man, because he's in his 70s now. Sorry if you're over 70 and you think that's old. Yeah, he's an old guy now. He's going to retire. That's when he can kind of back in. Wow, look, all of that stuff that I didn't rob my future self, which is now when he's retired. I didn't rob my future self by celebrating and taking all the accolades and taking all the praise and having all that happiness in the moment from right now. Again, it doesn't mean you can't celebrate and have moments, but don't let that happiness celebration be all that you're accomplishing in life, because yeah, you get to the end of a weight loss goal. I made it. I lost 180 pounds and now what? Now I'm kind of like stuck in a malaise of, what do I do with my life now? What is it that I pursue to be happy now? And again, it just starts another be happy journey, which then will end in the exact same way. When you think it's your final destination, you're like, and then you start another one. Why don't you just make one and say it's the end of life? I'm going to look back and go, wow, what a journey.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm sitting here as you're talking that, I mean, that's great. Exactly what you're saying with Nick Saban and that kind of idea. But I was thinking about all the times I've even made these small little things. Okay, once I do this, then I'll be, once I start a podcast, and I'll be happy. Once I write this thing, I'll be happy. Once I do this, I'll be happy. And it's like, God dang, how many times do we rob ourselves every single day by saying, all right, once I get once I get my to-do list done today, then I'll be happy. Oh man, I set myself up every single day for this, every single day.
Well,
Oh my goodness.
let's do a distinction here. I think that it's very good to feel accomplished. And sometimes people find happiness in accomplishment. I think you can accomplish without it letting it be your final destination as a note of happiness. So again, goals, accomplishments, things you're pursuing. We're not trying to discourage anybody from doing all those things. They're all good habits. But don't let the end game. All right, you started a podcast, Brittany, and you're doing well with it, and you're really good at it. I reinforce those things to you all the time. And yes, you're happy in the midst of it that people are responding, and we as best friends get to do a show together now. But yeah, like you see the bigger picture. Yeah, we're nowhere close. We're just getting started. What are you talking about? Happy. Don't need to be just totally overjoyed happy and, oh my gosh, it's going to be the fulfillment of my life. There's some days we get on here and we're not always just feeling it. Now, you and I are good enough friends. We can talk even in pain and even in being distracted by other things. And you've had things happen this week. I've had things happen this week that could make it very easy to go, yeah, we could just blow this off. But no, we kind of feel the dedication to each other to keep this going. But it's not because it makes us happy. It's because we care about each other and we see the bigger picture of what this is doing for people.
Yes, absolutely. I 100% agree. And I think it's so important for us to have these things in our life that bring us happiness, not make us happy, but bring us happiness. And so I like to make that distinction with my spouse is I've met too many people in my life, specifically who have gone through divorce, who say, my spouse doesn't make me happy. And I'm like,
Out.
okay, I'm sure there's something deeper. So I'm not going to judge. I'm sure there's something deeper, but I need you to understand it's not on your spouse to make you happy. They can bring you happiness. You cannot plant every ounce of what you need in this life on another human being. It's not fair to you, and it's definitely not fair to them. I love Wild Man, okay? That is zero secret. I love Wild Man, but I cannot expect him to make me happy because it's not possible. I have to be happy on my own with myself. I can't look in the mirror and say all kinds of hateful things, expect him to tell me all these good things, and like I'll even believe it. I can't even believe it if he was to tell me. And then it doesn't work. It's not going to work that way. And oh man, please stop doing this to your children. This is personal. Please stop expecting your children to make you happy. It is so unfair to plant your happiness if your children are around, if your children show up for you, if your children call you, if your children. Please stop doing that and learn to find happiness on your own, in your own shit.
Yeah.
Get over your own shit, make yourself happy, and bring your happiness to that relationship with your child, with your spouse, with your friend, with whoever.
And
So,
unbeknownst to you, you're teaching them that's how they find happiness is in other people. And so that's another reason not to do that one.
well, then, without going down that hole too much, if you specifically children, if you plant your happiness in your children, and because they're human beings, and the other person isn't happy for one day, that child now feels like shit about themselves, not about you. They don't feel anything about you. They now feel like crap because they didn't make you happy. They didn't bring you happiness. And so now they have this crisis that they go through their entire life of they can't make somebody happy and they think something is wrong with them. When in reality, there's nothing wrong with them. They, the other person needs to find happiness on their own. Can you guys tell that this is a personal experience?
Yeah. And again, unbeknownst to the person doing that, the parent doing that, you're kind of abusing them in that way. Not you're abusing them psychologically, I think, of making them feel that way. And which is what I love about the way you parent. Not that we're getting off on a tangent of your parenting, but I think the way you do it, the gentleness and letting them be who they are, and then guiding them along the way it's beautiful that they're not going to set themselves up to look for happiness as their final destination. They're going to look for what's in their heart, what they want to do. And sometimes it won't always be happy things, but you let them learn from those mistakes as well.
Yeah, one of my favorite things to do, and how this ties in with parenting, is every child in the history ever will draw a picture and run to their parent and say, do you like it? And instead of us saying, I love it, it's so beautiful, say, do you like it? And
Mm.
that twist where now you're putting it on them. Hold on. We're not going to be doing this to please somebody else. Do you like it? And then I hear their answer and I let them be happy with what they did and feel accomplished with what they did without planting that in me. I don't want to be their only source. Now, I will validate my children all day long. After they are done validating themselves, I'm like, that's the prettiest picture I've ever seen. Let's put it on the fridge. Let's do that. Let's celebrate this. But I always let them, like, I don't let them plant that in somebody else. Like, you don't live this life to make me happy. That's not what you're here to do. And I think it's something that, it just happens. So if they do the dishes, like, look, mom, look what I did. Are you happy with me? And I'm like, are you happy with what you did? Are you excited about what you did? And so I'm constantly planting that in them and trying to instill in them, no, ma'am, you find happiness in yourself. Mom loves you no matter what you do.
And us adults live that out, that principle, on social media. How many people write posts trying to make other people happy? Jimmy got over that years ago, by the way. I don't write for anybody but Jimmy, damn it.